Hey
Hey,
guys.
it is Tuesday morning. It's 8 a.m. So that means it's time for trash talk. And we got what's burning behind you?
My life. Uh,
Going down in a blaze of glory, right?
apparently. I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. I don't know.
But hey, it's we've been talking about it. It's kind of funny because folks, we've been getting ready to record this show, and we got delayed for probably a good half hour or more due to
Yeah,
circumstances. And the subject of today's talk was going to be, what did we have more time for? And it's like just about everything.
everything,
You know, I know for
we've,
you, because of all of the broadcasting that you do, the shows you record, the shows that you make, the blogs, the podcasts, everything, you obviously need more than 24 hours in a day.
I do. I do. It's really different for me now. I know it sounds like it's not, but my schedule on my job, my work and all that is very it's funny. I know what the next 12 weeks are going to look like, but it's very all over the place. I have to go out of town. I've got different hours. When I knew what my work schedule was, whatever that may be, I could then plan around it. And I
Yeah.
knew this day I had this. Luke was in school for this amount of time. I don't have Luke at night. I can do this. Now it's not like that. I'm getting up this whole couple weeks ago. I was up 4:45 in the morning, 5 a.m. Coffee, get things done. Had to meet up with some people from work. We were out in Fort Worth for a week. We're going to Waco. Matter of fact, I don't even know what week it is. We might be this week. We're going to Waco for 4 days. Like, there's just a lot of things going on. So my schedule for everything is done, and I'm back to what we've talked about on previous shows, trying to cram things in to this window that's
Yeah.
impossible to do,
It,
and something is suffering.
yeah.
I'm
Have,
suffering.
have more of a structure. There's something to be said for flexibility, but
Yes.
sometimes things get so flexible that they start to overlap and conflict, and now you're back to chaos.
And that's how it is, like, um, so I'm really pulling things back now, and I'm going, okay, what can I sacrifice? Or what do I really need to do? What do I want to do? What do I need to do? And what must I do?
Yeah.
So I can sit there and put the must at the top of the list, you know what I mean? And then I can go, this is what I need, this is what I want. So let's see if I can at least check off that top list of must, check off that top list of need. If there's time for want, figure that out. And don't put too much thought in it. If I want to, I need more time to do some recordings. Then okay, you've got an hour, Brandon. If it's with Trash Talk, let's call Stuart, see what he's got. If it's my own,
Right.
you could probably get a show done.
That's the way our
There's
schedule usually works. Is I am more flexible than you are. So I just say, okay, you just tell me, and you'll call them and say, I got an hour on Thursday morning, and all. Are you available? And we make it happen. Um,
sure.
and you're right. We get to a point where we try to have a priority list of the things that we have to accomplish, but you better put that priority list in pencil, because it's gonna get changed and flip-flopped. And
And
I
you just got to accept it. You got to deal with it. Like,
know, yeah, all the years that I was in business with Lauren, and all, we had to open the store at a particular hour, and we closed the store usually at a particular hour. And so everything revolved within those hours that we had to be someplace. Then it got, you know, to be, how are you going to schedule within that time frame? Because you were already there. Like when you're at work, you have certain things that you need to accomplish during the hours that you're at work. But then all of a
100%.
sudden the phone rings, or they call you. There's a shipment or something happened. This has got, so what you were planning to do each hour during that 8 hour day all of a sudden gets twisted around. And you got to be prepared for that.
You got to be adjusted. Yeah. And it's like, and then you make the option like that I have sometimes is okay. So it's an 8-hour day. I wasn't planning on staying any longer. Maybe I don't have anything to do after work right away. So maybe I spend another hour
Right.
and then say, here's one thing that I'm going to do, whether that's computer emails or maybe organization, distribution, calling these vendors, whatever job you're in, I'm going to spend that hour and at least, so when I walk in tomorrow, or what's even worse, you don't work the next day. And then you've got to come. There's some things you can delegate and some things that you're just going to have to deal with, and you got to separate those. I think the biggest thing that we all want more time for, and maybe not all of us, is and you have to almost be selfish. It's personal stuff, you know, not family stuff, not spouse stuff, not work, personal health, personal. I need to go to the doctor, and I got to make time for that. Nothing's happening, but I need to go to the doctor. More time to work out, more time to say, you know what, I really need to get in and rip my closet apart, clean it out, organize it, put in the new shelf, something like that. And it just keeps putting it off and putting it off and putting it off.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the word sacrifice earlier, and very often you have to do that. There's something that you want to do and you want to accomplish it within the next day or two, and then all of a sudden it gets moves. I use a calendar on my phone, and I
Yeah,
find that there's something that I need to do, and all of a sudden at the end of the day, I go in and edit and move that item from today to tomorrow.
100%.
And then tomorrow I edit and move it to the next day because I
Absolutely.
haven't been able to get to it. You mentioned like for instance a doctor's appointment. You go to a doctor's appointment, say it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden 11 o'clock you haven't seen the doctor yet. You're looking at your schedule and say, wait a minute, I got to be someplace at noon. And
I've walked out.
yeah, everything gets all screwed up, and then you have to rearrange it, and then
Yeah,
add to that mix. You got a son that you have to pick up at school at a certain time,
absolutely.
and all you can't say, well, I'll just postpone picking him up for an hour. You
Doesn't
got
work
to
that
figure out what do
way.
I got to stop doing in order to be there to pick up little man and then try and figure it out.
100%. And as a matter of fact, that brings up a good point. Last night, Luke got upset. He was in a rare form when I picked him up anyway. I could just tell, like, he was tired, you know. I'm a little bit hungry, wanted to get out of the car. I could just tell
Yeah,
in his whole demeanor. And all day, it felt like he was a little on edge. We played, we had a good time, but it was a school night. So you have this window. Okay, buddy, like he wanted to spend some time in his room and just draw and listen to his music. I get it. You got a brand new desk.
right.
You are at that age now where you do want your alone time, and everybody needs it. So he was in there. So 45 minutes go by, and I'm like, I know what's going to happen. This kid's I'm going to start making dinner. He's going to be agitated because he wants to play and hang out. I'm going to, so I went in there and I said, hey, buddy, why don't we take a break on that? Unless you're in the middle of something or I can play with you. Why don't we go do something? Why don't we just take an hour to whatever you want to do? Every comment, and he was
Right.
trying to cram in all these things in this 4.5, 5 hour window. He's got to take a bath. He's got to eat dinner. He's got to get ready for bed. He's got to go to bed. And he got upset. Well, Dad, I didn't get to do this today. And I was like, I get that feeling as an adult, but now we have to. So I'm trying to teach him how to, let's look at how much time we have and just say, if we don't get it today, we have tomorrow, we have Saturday. It's okay. But I can't even do that. I get mad when I can't fit my ginormous, unrealistic list into the day.
Right, right. And I envy the people that can do that, but
I also don't believe them.
yeah, I mean,
I don't buy it. I
yeah,
don't
you
buy
got
it.
I think you got a shallow life if you don't have chaos in it.
Well, when I talk to these parents that sit there and they both work jobs and both of their jobs are pretty demanding. I don't care where you work. At some point, your job's going to be demanding, Their kids are in school. Their kids have extracurricular activities. They try to have a life. They go to functions. And I'm sitting there looking at them like, okay, you do all this stuff, and your social media image shows this lovey family. I'm not saying they don't love each other, but everything's peachy. And I'm calling BS, because the reality is you're sacrificing something. And what I think you are sacrificing is real time. Because every time I turn around, you're at an event for work and your kids are there dressed up. They don't want to be there. You know, why don't you sacrifice that work time and give it to your children? And I always think when people go like, well, I'm up at 4 a.m. and I went to the gym and I did this, that's great, but you're not doing that 7 days a week unless you're The Rock, and you're not getting everything done. And somebody somewhere in that kink, your family, somebody's suffering. And I don't believe it. And I think it's okay that we accept that we can't get everything done in that time. And we have to really just find more time to do what we want to do and be happy.
Yeah, but again, there are things like, I know that you like to get up early in the morning and work out, go for a run.
Yeah, absolutely.
If your schedule doesn't allow that, number one, it throws your day out of kilter.
Yes.
And then the next day, if it should happen 2 days in a row, now you're really on edge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of that way because I'm older. I really value even a half hour or a 1 hour nap in the afternoon if I can get it in.
That's fair.
It gets me through the rest of the day. If I don't, I'm cranky during and after dinner, and I have trouble falling asleep at night, and it throws you out of sync. So, trying to say, okay, I'm going to meditate at 2 o'clock every afternoon for 15 minutes. Great plan.
Great
but
plan.
How often does it really happen?
I agree. And one of the biggest things that you have to do, number one, discipline is one of the biggest things. And I think that gets us through 85% of it. Motivation is fleeting.
Yeah.
Because I don't care what you say, you can't be like, I'm motivated to do it. Yeah. But even the people, I mean, you're telling me that guys that are in professional sports, you're telling me that actors, you're telling me that singers, you think every day they're motivated to get up early, go to the gym, practice, go to the studio? They're not. So that's when discipline takes over and says, no, I do this. But what do you do when you are disciplined, but time doesn't allow you to do it? Something gets sacrificed. And I'm not saying you should sacrifice working out, but this past couple weeks, I haven't been able to go for a run but once or twice a week. And 2 weeks ago, I went once. And that's because I'm not going to sacrifice. I'm not going to get up at 3 a.m., 3:30 in the morning to do it, because I haven't gone to bed till 9.
Right.
And 9 is super early for me. But because I'm getting up at 4:30, like 9 o'clock, like Luke goes to bed at 8:30, 8:45. Guess what? 15 minutes later, I'm out.
Yeah.
If I want to run, I got to get up at 3 a.m., but then I'm sacrificing sleep, and nobody wants a tired runner. You're going to hurt yourself. It's
not
tough,
only that,
right?
but when you go out and you go for that run at 3 o'clock in the morning, what are you starting to feel like at noon or 1 or 2 the next day?
Dead. Noon, 10,
Yeah.
11. I'm dead.
Yeah.
You got to think, come 11, you've been up for 7 hours now. You know what I mean? Like, almost 7, 8 hours. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. And then if you got to sit like I had to do, you got to sit in a class for 8 hours.
Right.
No. And your brain, if your body is up, your brain's done. So it's tough. And I'm working on it. I'm not doing a very good job lately. I go in waves, but I think I've started to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I've started to sit there and go, okay, I'm sacrificing this. Like the other day, my buddy called me and he's like, hey man, you out, you got Luke. And I was like, no, Luke's at his mom's tonight. He's like, oh, you want to meet up? No, I don't.
I need to crash.
I need to crash.
Yeah.
And I know that I could go out and have a good time and not even be back late, but I'm in the zone right now. I've got dinner I'm cooking dinner. I'm going to finish this show or documentary or movie that I started. I'm going to read about 10 pages of this book I'm reading before I go to bed, brush my teeth, call it. I'm out. And that time frame, that schedule is a 10 o'clock, 10:30 at the latest schedule. If I go out, I'm not getting back till 10. Now, all those things that I should have done are put to the side. And again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. Sometimes you got to throw it out the window,
That's right.
and your body needs to be around other people, your friends and all that.
You got to wipe the chalkboard clean and start from scratch.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I have said many times, I wish I had more time to read because I enjoy reading, but to set aside that hour or so during the day to sit down in quiet with maybe a cool drink and just relax and read, that's where I find myself, edit, move it to the next day. You can't fit it in, and it just gets postponed. And if you're reading a really good book, sometimes you can go days between chapters, and now
Sure.
you kind of forgot where you were because there wasn't that progression.
Somebody told me a long time ago that they try to read 13 pages a day.
13 pages?
Yeah, wherever that may end on the chapter. Sometimes you might have to go.
Yeah.
Because you want to end that sentence. You want to get to that last chapter. So maybe you do 14, but 13 minimum. And I did that for a very long time, especially during COVID. It was easy. I'm trying to get back into that now because I just restarted a book. I started it all over again because it had been like a month or two since I picked it up. And I'm like, I'm not that far into it. Let's just restart it again. So I restarted it and I'm trying to do 13 pages a day, but I'm limiting it. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not doing it on late work days or early mornings. I know that sounds crazy, but so I might only do it 4 times a week, but it's, right, 4 times a week. Still 4 that I can say, I've got 13 pages, 4 times a week, done. It's kind of helping me. And it's also helping me decompress. The first day I did it again, my mind was somewhere else.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to decompress and I'm trying to do it around the same time every day. That can get difficult, but you got to start somewhere.
That's part of that discipline. It's like you were talking about that you've been going to classes. Well, normally you'll put in 15 to 20,000 steps a day, and all of a sudden you're sitting on your butt in a class, and you look at the end of the day, you say, "Man, I didn't even get 5,000 steps in today."
That happened so much; it was crazy. I looked, and it was like 3,500 steps, and I'm like, "Dude, I get that playing with Luke on top of my 20,000 steps." I was like, "Yeah," and dude, sitting in a class all day is more mentally draining, exhausting. Your back hurts, your butt hurts, your legs hurt. I had muscles hurting I didn't even know existed. Stupid.
You had muscles that weren't dormant that now are.
God. So yeah, I'm excited. That's why, like, the other day I was doing laundry, and while I was waiting on the laundry, I just walked around. Literally just walked. Going this way on the phone, checking TikTok. Like, I just need to move.
Well, we're happy that you put Trash Talk on your schedule to be with us each week, and all because, hey, we try to make the time to be with you, and we hope that you enjoy spending your time with us. So we hope you go out and make it a good day, and then make time for us next Tuesday, 8 a.m. right here.
8 a.m.
All right. Catch you later, bro.
See ya.